Viper can't necessarily do. You are correct. Not the ice variant. All right, so we're gonna move on to the NovaCat. Darren, do you know my first experience with the NovaCat?
With the NovaCat?
Yeah.
Do I know your first experience?
Yeah.
First of all, you know, no, you haven't. You've never shared your first experience.
No.
But maybe I do. Was I there?
No.
This is TMI. Hashtag NovaCat in chat right now for your chance to win a NovaCat. And while you guys do that, let's hear about Phil's first experience with the NovaCat.
Mech Commander. It was
Yeah.
way before MechWarrior 4. Yeah.
There you go.
Which is unique because my introduction to it in Mech Commander was more of a brawling setup. Heavy LB and energy and missile combos. Not really just the strict ER large boat that we saw in MechWarrior 4. So for me, the NovaCat was introduced very early on in Mech Commander, you know, as a young adolescent, and so I had a fondness for it before it came out for MechWarrior 4. So
there you go.
that. Special
place in your heart.
So let's go ahead and quickly talk about the Nova. This is a 70-tonner Omni-Mech. A good comparison, of course, for clan side is the Summoner. And of course, across the pond, we have the Warhammer, Grasshopper, Cataphract, and Archer as well. Some things to note, of course, is it's heavy centric as far as weapons in the arms. I can tell you that the side-by-side comparisons, I think, helped alleviate some problem people had. I think some people thought the arms were really low, but when you compared them to, let's just say, the Warhammer, they were actually slightly higher than the Warhammer's arms.
Perspective makes a big difference sometimes.
Yes. You do not have a ton of weapon systems or omnipods in the torsos, but we do have a few, and I'll showcase those. But overall, I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this. Obviously, aesthetically, it looks nice. It looks like the NovaCat. There's nothing crazy about that. Yeah, so let's go dive in here. This is the Prime, by the way. I'm just looking at. This is, oh my gosh, this has so much crit space open. It has Indo, but it doesn't have Pharaoh. And this is actually a pretty important part because normally we'd say that's a detriment, right? Like the Ebon Jaguar versus the Hellbringer. But when some of these clan mechs don't have Pharaoh, that opens up 7 crit slots that were potentially taken up. And because this is a lower engine too, a 280, it gives you the ability to just take as many double heat sinks as you want. Obviously, you guys can already see the peeps on the right arm, and we have 3 ER large on the left. Now, I want to make a note here. A little bit different geometry for lasers on the NovaCat. Mark Nicholson, if you're there, thank you for doing that, sir. And the reason I say that is more often than not, lasers, they use the same laser geo or weapon geo on all mechs, and they made special laser geo for this, so it gains that aesthetic of sort of the long barrels. So kudos, sir. Thank you for that throwback.
Yeah, I know that makes a lot of people happy. There was some concerns when the concept art first came out that, you know, they'd end up just being stubs or whatever, and I know a lot of people are happy that they're not.
Yeah, so let's go and take a quick moment. Let's flip this in reverse, show you guys what 3 peeps looks like. Uh-oh, did I just mess up? Yes, I did. I was like, hold on, that peep doesn't look right. 3 peeps in the left arm. And of course, that's pretty much it as far as the Prime's concerned. There really isn't anything crazy. It's strictly all energy. I don't see really anything. I mean, it is what it 1.21 heat efficiency, and of course that is if you alpha everything. If you realistically, if you're firing 2 peeps or 1.81 heat efficiency, which is before operations. Keep that in mind. And yes, that's before you apply any skills to operations to increase its heat dissipation. and capacity. So 1.81, which is quite ridiculous. And of course you have the triple ER large for stock setup. Now, let me go ahead and dive in to the Omnipods here. And we do, of course, have the Hero as well. Let me go ahead and check out this just so you guys can sort of see it. And this is the Cobra Cat. Nova Cat, get it? Cobra Cat. Again, I'll take a quick look at the Omnipods, and the reason I have to do this is because there's some unique ones here, and I'll use this for example. I like the way the missiles look on the arms, by the way. Mark, you did a great job with that. They pretty much form this like... Here, I'll just go ahead and strip this really quick. You guys want to do, was it 315s? Let's do, actually, I think, can we do 320s? I don't know if we can do 320s. I think we have to do 315s. Or we can do 3.6s? Anyways, we'll, no, hold on. 320s. Let's just do 320s. This one only has 2. I'm thinking about another Omnipod. There is a third left arm with 3. This is what I was going for. Sorry. Got too excited. You can do some funny things with this, and I know it's gonna happen. So guys, if AMS and ECM, man, you know, just gonna toss this out there. Don't come crying. I warned you ahead of time. It sort of reminds me of like the Zeus and it's like, you know, club. It's clubbed hand of just missiles.
Yeah, there's the stock version with 6 LRM-15s.
Yeah.
They look like it's what was the mech we had recently? Meat tenderizer hands is what they look
the
like.
hammers.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's crazy.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to bring up this is 1 second. I gotta look. Some of these are. Let's see here. The C right arm. Yeah. Okay. So there's a few things. One, I'm gonna strip this arm off just so we can see, because some of these are the special ones. They don't. You can't buy the Omnipods just yet. So I want to just get that. 1 second. Let me make sure I have all the options here. Yeah. Just give me a second, guys. Give me a second. The reason I'm doing this is so I can showcase all the Omnipods on the Hero. All right. So let's talk about builds for a second. Let's talk about what would Phil do. The first thing I'm going to point out is that this is a great comparison is to the Summoner. Well, what can you do with the Summoner? What is one of the primary builds that you can do with the Summoner? Dual Peep. This is what the Dual Peep looks like currently with the left-right torso. Of course, with the Energy Omnipods. Now, I'm going to say this. This is the Hero Omnipods on the left-right torso, but there are C-Bill versions as well on the Nova Cat Bravo. So just for those that are worrying about, you know, like, oh, well, I can't get those energy. Yes, you can. They're left-right torso. So this isn't limited to just the Hero, but this is where they mount. So this should give some of you guys some thrills of high mounts. Of course, the main difference between this and the Summoner, and there's a few, I should say, but the main one is you don't have jump jets. So this is ground bound. But that being said, what the Nova Cat does make up for is that you have plenty of tonnage to dedicate towards other weapon systems and or heat sinks as well. So technically, there is some ballistic options with the C and D. I know Peep Goss in the past time, but in this case, you could potentially do other stuff like the left arm with 3 energy, and do something like 2 ER large with 3 medium or something like this, and so forth and so on. So definitely plenty of options for PEEP. Another thing, of course, is the ballistic options. You do have a left arm ballistic and a right arm ballistic, so you can do stuff like LB-20s on a 70 tonner. And of course, you're at a 280. That leaves you with 14 tons. You're up armored pretty much all the way. We can just make sure here. With 2 energy mounts in the torso. There are no other torso mounts except for the energy left-right torso. And that's of the Hero left-right torso and the Bravo left-right torso. So you could definitely do stuff like this. And then if you wanted to technically, I don't know why you'd do heavies, but you could. I don't know if you'd want to, but you could. You could also just do heavy mediums. You can do whatever you want, but there is that. And of course, this is what the so this is on a 70 tonner dual LB-20s. No, there are no jump jets. Unless I am incorrect, which I might be. Yes. The A has jump jets. So
there you go.
But here's the thing is, then what that leaves you to do is just basically, this is all you could do, except for maybe, medium pulse in the arm. Technically, this right arm does have a few options for you. You could do dual UAC, triple UAC 5s just in the right arm. Oh, that does look pretty cool though. But yes, you can do dual LB-20s, dual UAC 20s, dual GOS. That's another setup actually. Actually, that's probably what you might see, very similar to the night gear, right at 75 tons. But instead, you could do dual GOS on this with dual ER large. And that leaves you plenty of tonnage. So there's that as well. Nice thing too with this is the first, and this is just sort of a side note, one thing that I like is that the first ballistic is on the inside, and that allows basically so the convergence isn't super wide. You guys know when I play like the King Crab or some of the mechs that have really wide ballistics, when you go to shoot targets, sometimes the convergence, you just miss your target, you're just barely off or whatever. This is sort of nice. This reminds me of, again, sort of like the Marauder, right, where nice and close and tight to the body. Now keep in mind this is 64.8 kph. You can go a bit faster with mobility speed tweak here if you so desired.
Would you? WWPD
69, probably not.
Yeah.
No. You'd have to look at the mech's agility comparatively. I think it's pretty much on par with 70 tonners as far as its basic XL, DXL. So what I mean by that is, like, I think it's on par with the Warhammer, Cataphract, stuff like that. So I think that feels pretty good. But this is, again, this would be comparable to the night gear in this regard for this setup. So definitely some options here. Of course, for missile, you have, we already mentioned this earlier, there are no torso mounts, but there are plenty of missiles on arms you could easily do. 6 SRM-6s. showcase that really quick. And with a backup of technically do whatever you want. You can do dual large pulse if you wanted, plus plenty of ammo and heat sinks. You do what you want because you can.
You do you.
And no one's judging. If they do, just ignore them because they're haters. They see you rolling. All right, so Darren is doing a giveaway for a NovaCat. Is it pack? Is it?
Yeah, it's a standard pack. Hashtag NovaCat in chat right now. Are you gonna do? Are we there yet?
I mean, we're almost there yet. So okay. As far as the NovaCat across the board, the nice thing with having an Omni-Mech is I can showcase all the Omnipods off in one sort of go here. We have plenty of combinations. Ballistic missile. Another combination that you can potentially see is the right arm or left arm ballistic, followed by the right arm or vice versa. So you could do an LB20 in one with medium pulse. Let's just put medium pulse right here. With medium pulse in the torsos, with SRM6s in the arms here. So you could technically do stuff like this. That's very brawly. 77 firepower. You could do something like that. Don't like LB20s, you can go UAC 20 as well. With medium pulse, there are plenty of options here that I think a lot of people would like. Me personally, I'd probably switch. I like having the ballistic in the right arm. I don't know why, but either or, you can do that. You could easily do 210s as well in the right arm. That is something that you could do. You just have to play around with the setup for all intents and purposes. Do that right there. Then you could put the SRMs in the left arm. There is a few combinations. You've got the Hero's arms that have 1 energy and 2 missile in the right. Same thing with the left. So you could do 4 medium pulse or something of that combo with 4 SRM6s as well. I could see a few different setups happening in that regard. And left arm, of course. Oop, wrong Omnipod. So you'd have a fist here. And then you'd back it up with whatever you want. 2 heavy or 2 ER or something like that. So there's that. Let me go ahead and show off. So overall, plenty of options for missile and energy. You do have 2 Omnipods for ballistic. The right arm with 3, the left arm with 1 ballistic and 1 energy. High mounts in the torso. This is the Hero left-right torso, but also the Bravo Omnipod left-right torso. So there isn't any locked behind a paywall. So there are free options as well, or C-bill options, I should say. Free, gotta earn them. Let's see. Let me go ahead and reset this really quick. You do have jump jet options for the A torso. Technically, you could take 1 torso and get away with 2 jump jets. That's all you need, really. You don't have to take both, but that does limit you. It will remove an Omnipod from your assortment here. Either you take an energy or you take none at whatsoever. So there is that. So that will limit you just a bit. Let's go check out the cockpit item really quick. This is the NovaCat. Gotta scroll down.
All right, guys, and yes, we have already done the Osiris and the Arctic Wolf, but this stream will be up on YouTube as soon as possible, so if you missed anything, you can check it out there. And here we go with the standing cockpit item, which is the walking animation of the NovaCat. There you are.
Did you say yar? Are you
yar? There yar. Let's do this giveaway. Hashtag NovaCat right now. I'll give you a few more seconds while Phil does things to your eyes with camo patterns.
I didn't do anything. I played the 5th.
It's the colors. Yeah, it's not you. It's the colors.
Showcasing the. This is the hero, of course, paint scheme. I feel like it needs more green in. It's.
All right, the winner of the NovaCat pack today is Anachron. Anachron, I'm going to go with.
How do you pronounce that?
I'm going with Anachron. I don't know though. And there he is. Congratulations, 1 second, Anachron.
All right, let's go and switch patterns here. Dazzle.
Anachron, go ahead and whisper me back. I whispered you. Let me know your pilot name, and I'll get you sorted with that. And for the rest of you, we will be doing a Night Star giveaway very shortly.
By the way, for those that may not know, Dazzle is an actual camo pattern that was used in World War II. Just a FYI, it's for ships. Some people don't know that. Anyways, the more you know.
A little bit of trivia.
A little bit of history. You didn't know you were going to learn something today with Phil. Let's go check out. Switch this around. I'll do some Darren colors. He likes these colors.
Wait, what?
You like yellow and black and white, but you like it in this pattern. Hold on one second. Where is it? I think I gotta switch these. Hold on. You do. There you go. That's Darren camo pattern right there for you.
I'm waiting to see what you land on.
Oh, that's you. That's what you do.
No, I usually use Davion, but you won't have that accessible.
No, I don't have that.
Close enough. I use a little bit more of a gold. I think it's Jade Falcon Gold. But other than that, you're pretty close.
All right. Let's showcase some red. I know everybody likes to see the Buccaneer.
All right, Anachron, you have your NovaCats. You'll get those tomorrow when the patch goes live. Enjoy, sir.
Instead of black, I like the gunmetal gray. I think it's better, me personally. Like that. Some NovaCat going on here. And of course, let me check out some camo patterns or camo colors. There's a woodland. The Tiger. I think Tiger needs a base of a darker color. I feel like that looks better, generally speaking. More browns. Yeah, there we go. Vagabond, which looks fantastic. Man, Vagabond. It was one of the camos I hated forever, but then you throw in camo colors. Just right. Just right. Just right. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the Nova. Again, the animations will be fixed on this. We're not going to showcase those. Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking forward to the NovaCat. Obviously, tomorrow, I suspect plenty to go around. I'm not really sure what, I mean, I don't know what's going to be the sort of dominant setup with these. I showcased a few. I suspect the dual gas will be used. I suspect brawling will be used. And I suspect there will be the missile boat coming out as well, which is this. I suspect that'll be used as well.
Meat tenderizer hands.
It does look like a meat tenderizer, doesn't it?
Just smash it into your foe.
Mark's like, yeah, I went home and was struggling, and we were having steak.
Looked in the
and
kitchen.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that makes sense, right?
It looks pretty cool.
It does.
I know RJ Base won't like it.
Right
he has
arm.
something against it.
Let me quickly, someone just asked a quick question I can check out for them. And the right arm does have 3 ballistic, and if you can fit it, no, you can't do 3 UAC 10s, but actually, hold on, no, you can't. You can do that in UAC 2. No. There. You do 3 5s. All right. That is going to be it. That's going to conclude the NovaCat. Congrats to that gentleman who won.
Yes.